Let's face it, Payday 3 came out as an unfinished product. It feels like a mobile game, with endless checklist challenges to level up, a weekly buyout shop of C-Stack coins, and a complete lack of quality of life features. And that's where modding comes in. For the few people that are still sticking with the game, we're blessed with passionate modders that add features and quality of life that should have been in the game from the start. At only a few weeks in, we already have lots of great mods, and it only seems to be increasing as time goes on, with more robust and complex mods coming out as modders learn more about the game. So for today, I'm going to show you guys a bunch of quality of life mods that, in essence, fix certain parts of the game. Do note that this does not include anything gameplay changing. At the end of the day, my purpose here is to focus on enhancing the incomplete experience that is Payday 3, not to give you guys mods like double stacking bags, or eliminating pagers in stealth, or giving you directions on how to cook meth. Now there are a couple of important things to talk about before we begin. First off, some of you have asked before, is modding safe? Will you get banned for modding? Short answer is, we don't know. I don't believe there's been an official stance as of yet, nor any plans to have whitelisted mods or a workshop or something. However, if Payday 2 is used as a precedent, then modding is very safe. Nobody ever got punished for running cheats like God mode or infinite money bags or stuff like that, and the stuff that I'm sharing with you today is mild in comparison. Secondly, when downloading mods, please follow my links in the description and make sure you download from Mod Workshop. This is the most active modding community for the Payday series and is a reputable place for modding. A few modders have let me know that there are websites out there that are stealing their mods and just posting it on their own website. Now, I'm not saying all other websites are like this. I want to avoid accidentally pointing fingers that don't deserve it. But for the most part, if you want to find a large repository of mods, get it directly from the source at Mod Workshop. So this one only came out recently and has already shot up as one of the most downloaded mods. This mod is called Challenge Notifications, and it simply adds an in-game notification when you complete a challenge. No longer will you have to guess if you've finished that stupid slide 5,000 meter challenge, or if you've completed the hold the hostage for 3,600 seconds challenge. With how utterly integral challenges are to leveling up, we have no way to track them, no way to know when they're completed, and no way to sort them in any meaningful way. So this right here is the first step in making it become a reality. This next one is actually a pair of mods, but they both add some quality of life to the skill customization, both in the menu and in the game. This first mod, called Colored Buffs, simply recolors each buff in the menu and applies them to all of the skills. Now, at a quick glance, you can easily see if a skill deals with one of these buffs. Red for Edge, blue for Grit, and I think orange for Rush? If one of the skills here has no color, that means it doesn't deal with any of these buffs. But if they're colored, that means they either give a buff, refresh your buff, or consume your buff, based on which color it is. As for the second mod, this one is called Colored HUD Buffs. Pretty self-explanatory, this mod colors the buffs in your HUD based on this mod, so it's easier to differentiate which buff you have active while you're in the game. Here's one that I have high hopes for. This mod is called Proving Grounds, and in Payday 2, the same creator had also done something similar. Since Payday 3 comes without a safe house, or a firing range, or a test map, or anything of that sort, there's no easy way to test out your guns, see if you like how you've modded them, or even just check it out to see if you like the skin or paint you put on it. Now, admittedly, right now, this particular mod is very bare bones and some functionality isn't working, like buff showing up on your screen, or the map taking into account your sensitivity settings, but this is the easiest way to shoot some enemies and test out builds that you've made. The Payday 2 version had an entire thing where you can spawn in assault waves to simulate an actual heist, you can change weapons on the fly, and it also had green screen support, which is nice for content creators. This next mod is called No Heist Intro Sequences. For people that like to stealth and restart often, or for people that are just tired of the stupid cutscene that feels like it lasts for an eternity, this mod gets rid of them for you. Do note that getting rid of the intro does leave you in a little bit of a limbo. You can't game buffs while the intro is supposed to be playing, and you are able to start while other people are still watching the intro. For me though, it's an absolute time saver for doing solo stealth or doing a challenge where I have to restart pretty often. Tired of hearing Shade, Imposter Vlad, or Shayu saying, earn some money.
So you need to get back in the game, earn some money.
This mod is called Mute Heist Contractors in the menu. That's all it does. It gives you peace and quiet when you hover over a mission in the mission selector. That alone, I think, is worth grabbing this mod. Now, I can queue up and alt-tab in peace. And yes, I'm aware that if you back out to the main menu, you won't hear them. No, that does not make this mod any less desirable. You ever wonder why the devs decided to hide the in-game timer behind the tab screen? Which is also laughably useless and barely has any information, because I have no fucking clue. This mod is called Heist Timer. It adds back the timer so that it's on your screen. That's it. I don't know why this had to be hidden from the players. For this next one, it's a bit iffy to say whether or not this is an intended feature, but if you play stealth, you've probably noticed that there's a radios until alarm tracker on your screen when you take a pager. However, this is something that doesn't always show up, and there's no way to force it to show up, no way to check it, either through your tab screen or any other way without actually doing something stupid like taking a pager. I think this game also hides that tracker once you've run out of pagers. This mod, called Always Show Pager Count, simply makes it so that the tracker is showing up all the time. Now again, this one, it's a bit iffy to say whether this is an intentional mechanic. Maybe the devs don't want you to be able to see the pager count at all times. But in Payday 2, it was always visible, and in fact they even added it in the tab screen so that you could see it all the time. So for now, I'm going to assume that this isn't a feature that they didn't want players to have. This mod is called the HET5 Thermal Target Tweak Mod. If you've used the base game's targeting system for the Overkill sniper weapon, you'll know just how awful that thing is. It's a big ass outline, much bigger than the enemies are, and it causes a lot of jarring distractions, since 1, enemies aren't actually tall enough for that big box, 2, enemies can dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, meaning they're never actually close to where the box is. Okay, I really wanted to make the meme there, but honestly the outline is useless. Half the enemies are crouched or doing stuff, and they're never where that box actually is. All this mod does is change it so that the outline is closer to center mass. This doesn't fully eliminate the scope's functionality, while making it 100% less distracting and probably more useful as well. For these next few mods, they aren't what I would really consider necessary for quality of life. I mean, they still can be. I also wouldn't consider them game-breaking. So here's just a few fun things that add a bit more life to the drab and generic game that is Payday 3. First off, we have Simple Armor and Health HUD. This shows the armor and health that enemies have. Now, some people may argue that showing such information is a bit akin to cheating, since it gives you more info than the game intends for you to have, and it can have a direct effect on your gameplay and whatnot. Today, I'm not here to argue that. You can decide for yourself whether this is something you're okay with using or you're not. This next mod is the Damage Pop-Up HUD mod. This mod displays damage numbers above the enemy when you deal damage to them. Again, same with the previous HUD, it's up to you to decide just how far this toes the line for you. Honestly, I think this one is less offensive than the Show Health mod, and it does give a little dopamine hit when you see big numbers or red numbers for killing enemies. Here's one that I haven't personally used, since I feel like this is extraneous information that I don't want. Plus, it tends to be fuel for some people's egos, but I know a lot of people like stuff like this, so here it is. This is the Kill Count HUD mod. It tracks the kills and damage done from you and the people in your lobby. It has a settings menu where you can fiddle with the location as well as a few other settings. Just make sure to check out the mod page for how to use it. Lastly, we have a mod that's actually the opposite of what I've been showing so far. This mod, called No HUD, removes all of your HUD elements, giving you a clean, immersive look. Now, why would you ever want this? Well, there are a few people out there that like it for the challenge or the immersion, or for content creators like me. It's really nice for taking screenshots of stuff that I may use in the future as assets. For now, that's all I got for you guys. I keep checking back every day to see when new mods are up, and each day that goes by, I find that more and more features are being added that I wish were in the game. On top of that, I didn't even cover the fun stuff, like changing the music for your menu, adding different music for the hacking circles, changing your phone, adding fun character textures. The possibilities are really endless. Now, I suppose this is all dependent on how long modders will stay interested in the game. Honestly, I'm already quite bored of it myself, and of the few friends that I noticed that tried out the game, quite a few of them have already been done, so we'll just see how it all pans out, won't we? I always hate the notion of using mods to fix a broken game, but in this case, Payday 3 is so devoid of charm and quality of life that I pretty fully endorse installing mods that pick up the slack for a game that sorely needs it. Thanks for checking out the video, guys, and I'll see you later.